Start. Okay, I am looking at that is going to be quite deep on my initial. I go over here. Let me share the screen with you. Sorry.
Okay.
Where is it? There we go. Pull that out separate. There we go. Okay, I should be screen sharing now.
Uh-huh.
Okay, all right. Okay, on this site, I have a navigation that's fairly complex, and I want to make sure that before I do a ton of busy work, I'm seeing this tree right, because like my flow chart is going to have some really deep legs based on this section, the news section. In the news section, they break out into so basically, two questions about my flow before I engage in more of the busy work to get the chart, to get the original existing flow chart, or the existing IA flow chart. These are the about, rise, event, news, and action. Those are my main navs on the site as they are, and they break out into different categories under each one, as we can see on the site right there. Okay. All right, so that's fine. I see that as manageable. It's deep, right? But when I get to this news thing, these topic legs go crazy, and so do the country legs as well. I am literally going to have 28 separate on this existing navigation if I follow it correctly. And I want to verify that with you to make sure I'm seeing it the right way. So when we go to news and blog, say we go to Afghanistan or any of these country places, these end up showing videos that they're from. So it's a whole nother page. So I have to mark each country as its own box on this existing flow.
I think so this area under the blog, it's all it is just posts that are categorized and tagged in different ways. So
okay, so what I have to break out each country like that, because notice I put multiples here in this marker draft to show how many blocks I have to go down under each one. Am I wrong to think I have to stretch that country leg all the way down?
No, I would not do busy work like that. I would just say by news, by country, by topic. I wouldn't even put it underneath. I would represent that section slightly differently because it's organized like a blog. It's not a page of content. It's just allowing you, it's like filters and categories kind of. And everything in news is a blog post.
Okay.
It's just they're displaying all of the categories and the filters up here on the right. It's just a way that they have categorized their blog posts. Any of these pink links will take you to a different grouping.
So how do what shorthand do I use to show that exists?
So you have countries and you have, basically all you have is countries and topics. That's up to you to design your own. You want to show that news is slightly different from the other sections. I would maybe, color it something, maybe shade it a little bit and provide a key and say, this is the blog area. There are probably over 300 blog posts which can be accessed via topic or country. Now,
oh, okay, I get you. I've done some shorthand like that with you before on flowcharts, because when I go back to these great reference materials you gave us, I really thought I was looking at legs this long.
I mean, you could if you wanted to, but I don't really think it's necessary. But
Okay,
you're
so
still going to be
I can shorthand. Okay. I understand. I gotcha. I can shorthand this. Okay,
yes, you
great.
can
See, I just saved myself.
right, but
I saved myself.
a lot of work, but you can still test it though, Brian. I mean, you can still, one of your questions being, I want to find news about something in Afghanistan, or I want to find an article. Like, make sure that those are the right ways to categorize. I want to find a news story that mentions such and such.
Okay, good. You've answered that question. All right, save me hours. Now, notice on this drawing here, and I am a big drawer, I have a question mark off to the right of the home block. Here's why. This is where my cursor is going. When I click 1 billion rising, that's technically my home. Okay, and on pops up off to the side. There's my structure there, but these are random parts like rise, disrupt, connect, sign up to rise, news, and kind of just random and splashed. You know, they stay the same whenever you go back. Am I describing what's in that off to the side?
You can.
If I
Do those do those open pages that you can be taken to other ways? Or is that just changing the content in that center area?
let's click rise, disrupt, connect.
So that's not taking you, it is taking you to a separate page, Brian.
It's taking me over here to the campaign. You see how it highlighted?
Yes, exactly. That's already going to be in your flowchart. So you probably want to indicate that you can also get there via your homepage as well.
Okay.
So
Okay. Okay. So the
paragraph.
line would actually loop around, or like where would the line go?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, and there's no problem with adding notes. You know, when I make flowcharts sometimes, a lot of times, most of the times I'm making flowcharts is I'm trying to communicate with the client or remind myself of different features and why I did different things. Okay. So, you know, you want to represent, you can put notes off to the side of different pages and then, but render them, you know, like a little bit more subtle, maybe italicized, maybe a smaller type size, you know.
Yeah, good. Okay, I'm good with flowcharts. I just wanted to make sure that I was going to present something that had complexity, you know, deliver something that had complexity, because the clunkiness of the site as it stands is going to show through this flowchart, you know, but I didn't want to make it over clunky and overdo it and waste a bunch of work. You know, it's going to have footnotes and other lines going around, you know, and it's going to demonstrate that it's a little overly complex no matter how much I try to streamline it. But I wanted to show you this drawing to save myself a potential nightmare of busy work. Okay, cool.
I think you have the right idea, but just keep in mind those buttons on the home page, at least that one you just showed me, is leading to content that you're going to already be representing on your flowchart under the About section.
Yeah, and whichever block you press, it highlights over on the nav, so it does loop me back. Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Okay. All right. Great. And then I was running. I have a question about final layout. I was hoping there'd be some other students on to see how theirs were going. It looks like everyone is falling in line with just one big long dot.
That's fine. That's what I wanted to do.
Is there a way to like use? Is there a way to chunk this project into a final deliverable that kind of looks like a research poster? It's just an idea I was thinking of. I kind of drew it on paper a little bit. You know, like down the hallway from the SOC
Yeah.
offices, there's like research posters on the wall. They have them here. They're all over college campuses. Can that, I mean, should we stick to the deliverable of one big long document, or can we kind of use modular design and chunk it into a different shape?
Yeah, I think that's fine. I think that's a cool idea. I'd love to print it and put it on the wall too, to let people know what we're doing.
Right, because it's going to be a departure from everything that you've shown us for reference material, and it's going to be a departure from the way people are going on this.
Yeah, go for it. I think that's a good idea.
Okay, well, this is my kind of, okay, well, this would be a modular part of it then, and each user profile would be set up like this. Like this would be a component, and it could lay out ×3 on a bigger doc. Okay, so I'm still following the basic tables that people are making on Word docs, but I've made it modular. It's in InDesign already, so I can kind of put it where I want it. You know, so that's why I asked that question.
That's a cool idea, Brian. I think it's really cool.
All right, cool. We'll go from there. Now, back to card sorting. I am in optimal, and I have a couple of questions on my study. Preview. I think my questions are biased towards the organizer. I need to change my cards. These are my 3 user profiles right here: participants, organizer, and media. But I feel that my first go around was a little biased towards the organizer, and I think that reflects my coverage of the news piece I did on it originally, because I talked to a lot of organizers. And so I'm not coming at it as a user or an outside news guy enough. Look at my questions.
Yeah, I just think that in order to do this study, you could only send it out to 15 people, right? So you're not going to have the ability to do different studies unless you want to set up 3 different studies and then, you know, let the people know, okay, look, that you're an organizer of an event. Here are your 25 questions. I think that might be overkill. So in your question,
that's total overkill. Yeah, because the audience that I've nudged to take this up over the next few days is not organizers. They're just not. You know, they're students who some did participate, but they're not the organizers. I've leaned a little bit towards the organizers. So since I've realized that, and these are my places to put the cards, should I balance the cards towards these 3 categories, towards my user profiles? Am I balancing what the question?
Did you watch the lynda.com video?
I have the lynda.com video here, and I've been going through sections of it, and I'll probably have to revisit it.
Yeah.
I'm kind of into the nuts and bolts of doing the cards, but I'm missing some of the theoretical, I think, and I need to review it because
you need to go through the whole thing. First of all, you don't want to create categories ahead of time for them to put them into. You want the users to be creating the categories for you. So I'm not sure why you have participants for organizers or for media.
Oh, okay.
However,
that's this open.
When you write your questions, you're going to need to write your questions more explicitly, saying you are organizing an event and want to know what to blah, blah, blah. What is MO move versus MP4? That is the most ambiguous question in the whole world. People won't even know what that means. So you are taking video of the event and contributing it to blah, blah, blah. Should you do an MO4? I mean, some of these questions are so specific that I would break your 25 questions down into questions a participant might want, like a lay person. Think of the user. Have you made your user scenarios yet?
Yeah, I've started to. I've got them on. They're on pen. They're note paper. I'm on note paper with them. That's why I designed the template so I can plug them in as I go. I have questions for organizer, participant, and media. Yes.
Right, right. So you need to go finish this part, because then when you think about organizer, then you're going to think about things an organizer would want to do. Then when you do participant, you think about the things that a participant would want to do. And same with a media person. So then when you write your questions for your card sort, I would split your 25 questions into questions that might be asked by those 3 different types of people. And then when you write your
Okay, so
write them in such a
okay,
way that it's very clear you would like to participate in an event, blah, 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 blah. So
I
it's very
understand.
clear who the audience member is in the question itself.
Okay, so it's okay to get a little bit more detail with the questions. I obviously have a list already that
Right,
is organizer biased and
right.
organizer based category for questions. You know, I've got a lot to choose from already. I have
I know, but
very few.
the reason why I had you do these user scenarios is because I wanted you to think of the range of people and the range of questions that the different types of
Right.
users might be asking. And that's going to inform those 25 questions.
Okay, okay. Well, this the middle category. It's the rank and file participant who hasn't been paid attention to enough yet by me, I think. I'm
And
okay with the organizer and the media.
And don't you think the most important audience member would be someone who would want to participate?
I do, and that's the one, that I think my kind of natural bias has kind of uh, actually booted out of the process accidentally. I thought about the people who I covered in the story who were organizers, and I thought about myself who was the media personnel doing it. But I didn't think about the person who just wanted to dance at the flash mob.
And those people that are organizing that site is put up there to engage participants. I think that's probably their primary objective. Their objective is not necessarily catering towards media people. They do want to give the media people the information that they need, but they want to get
Mm-hmm.
people involved. So that particular user group, I think, is their key target audience, and I would pay closer attention to that and trying not to let your bias get in the way. So really think
I
about your user
agree.
scenarios and then rewrite your questions, making it very clear who the user is who might want to do this question.
Cool, cool. We have saved a ton of time with this conversation. Thank you so
Oh,
much.
good.
Okay.
Good. Are you still have a conflict on Tuesdays?
No, I do not. I am out of Sean's class at
Oh, cool.
2 p.m. my time.
Oh, good. Okay. Well, then, if you can try to join on Tuesday, that would be awesome. And then, if we need to do Fridays, I can go back and add them in. But, but yeah. So keep on trucking, and then you know that the deadline is a week from today now.
I absolutely do.
Okay.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I know, and I let Amber know too. So yeah, I'm fine with dumping Fridays. I appreciate you for slugging it out while I
No
had
problem.
the conflict, but no, I do not have the conflict anymore. I see Sean from 10 to 2, and then I could just, take a break and come to your crib.
Okay. Awesome. All right. Well, I will see you later, Brian.
All right, bye-bye.
Have a good weekend.
You
Bye.
too.